Morning, everybody. Just wanted to share the little programs that I use to, just keep me focused and keep me on this path. Um, it just didn't, drum it all up on my own. I had to find different things that would work and things like that that would keep me motivated. The inspiration that I had out on the streets by the gentleman that lost his arm and his leg at the gym. He young kid, I think he was like 23, 24. He inspired me um, tremendously. Just going in there and seeing him, do it. Had to put an attachment on his arm in order to pull on the weights, and things like that on his leg. Just tragic, but he wasn't giving up, and that's the kind of stuff that made me realize that, hey, yeah, I have no excuse. I have no excuse at all. I also remember running across a young gentleman that was, you could tell he was handicapped, and there he was, running right at me. I'm jogging in one direction, he's jogging towards me, and I could tell immediately that he was handicapped. But there he was. He had his headphones in, and he was struggling, but he was doing it. And that was some of the other inspiration that I gather along the way. Of course, my family is my biggest inspiration. Myself to get myself in a better place. But at the same time, you also need tools. And like I was saying, I started writing it down, like I showed in my previous video. I started writing things down, and then I started using these little tools that you're able to get. I was trying to think of the word, but Max Buzz was the original program that I started using, a lot like the Fitbit, but this was given through our employer, and it's Virgin Pulse or something like that, Max Buzz. And we had to pay just the tax on this, but the company provided this watch, and then also had an app and a tracking monitoring system, and it also tied into our health benefits. That if we completed like a blood work thing and a uh, I forget the word, biometric testing and stuff like that, that they would, deduct up to, I believe, up to about 150 to $250 of discounts on our premiums, which is great, So I was already pretty well into it when this came aboard, and I just kept doing it, and then we lost this back in, I want to say, in 2018, going into 2019. We lost this because our company sold, our division, and the new company wasn't carrying the same health insurance carrier, and they weren't offering this, so we weren't able to maintain it. So that's when I went out and bought a Fitbit, and this is where we're at today. And I still use this to this day. I think I started using this in I want to say 2019, maybe going into 2020. But I believe I'm on my second one. They do wear out, they get beat up. But anyway, uh, this is what I use, and I look at this every day, and I also monitor it against my treadmill to make sure that the mileage is about the same, and it is. It's very close. It's like 0.20, 0.25, difference. So that's not a lot. I'm not concerned about one lap, but it works really good. Um, I'm also able to tap on this little icon here, and when I tap on this, it takes me to this screen, and this gives me a snapshot of the whole week. And it goes all the way back to, I can't scroll down here because this is just a pic, but it takes you back several months, and you can see your progression. You can see how many steps you're gathering. So when I started with the Max Bus, my goal was 7,500 steps, and at that time when I started, that was quite a bit for that. I mean, I wasn't hitting it every time, you know but as I progressed in my working out and training and so forth, then when I got to the Fitbit, I was able to set it at 10,000 steps per day, and I'm doing pretty good. And I wish I could go back here and show you. I just can't scroll down, but I wish I could go back and show you. And you could see how I'm pretty consistent hitting 100,000 steps a week, and it's pretty good. I have my routines and stuff like that, and that every this is Sunday right here, like 326 is Sunday, and then this is Monday, and then this like for example, this Monday my step count is pretty high. That's because I shampoo some rugs and just spend a lot of time walking around, brushing and spraying them down and just moving around. It just takes up the step count. And then of course on the days that I work out, I automatically hit it over 10,000. So it's more being aware on the days that you're not working out that you could do some other activities. Every Friday I try to cut my grass, and that pretty much puts a lot of steps. It's almost like a day that I ran five miles or so. So you can see here on this past Friday, I had up to 11,000. And sometimes when I do extra stuff like trim the weeds and just do extra maintenance, I'll get it up to 15, 16,000 steps. So it's really good. Saturday, as you know, we had the 10 miles. So that course, takes it way up. It kind of doubles the numbers a little bit. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. And then on the same program, through my through my email, I get a little snapshot of the week. I get it every Thursday, I believe. Let me see, what day was this? I can't tell here, but I think it's every Thursday. Yeah, I think it's every Thursday that I get it. I want to say Thursday, Tuesday or Thursday. I get it. I get it via email, and it's just a little snapshot, just a little reminder that hey, you're doing it, you're working it. Keep an eye on it. I need to do more activity. So it kind of inspires me to work at it a little bit more. And you don't need a lot. Let me tell you, up to last year, I was working on a treadmill that looked like this. And, the screen, all it does is it had a little digital count, of the laps, and it wasn't much. And I wish I would have took a picture of the screen before I got rid of it, but I didn't. But it wasn't much, and it just had a couple knobs, for speed. It didn't have no incline. The incline was manual. You see this thing right here? It has a catch, this lever here, the lever here that would push this up, has a little catch, and it has like three catches. So the lowest one would be my incline, so I would have to get off, and do it, and play with the treadmill belt a little bit, and then drop it, and then I would and then if I wanted to take it down a little bit, then I could go halfway and then all the way up, right, and then it would be even. And then, of course, last year I finally graduated to a nicer treadmill, a little more modern, I want to say. I don't think it's like top of the line. I think you could spend thousands of dollars on these things, but I got this one at Costco. They had it on sale. My kids all pitched in for my birthday. I was told, they asked me what was I getting, what did I want for my birthday. I told them I was going to get a treadmill, so they all pitched in. So they helped me out, so I was able to get it at Costco, and I see them there from time to time. They don't always have them, but I see them regularly, you know, and yeah, that's how you do it, and that's how you do it. You build your own little program. It's not sexy or exciting, jumping on a treadmill. You really got to entertain yourself. Luckily now we have these phones, and you could put on YouTube, you could put on a movie, you could put on, different things. This treadmill has screens on there, and I have a program that I subscribe to that I could, tap into and then run in Italy and France and different countries, in Chicago and New York, and Boston, whatever. And it makes it a little more entertaining. I got a TV. I got a 32-inch flat screen TV inside my garage. I have it on a stand, and if I get bored, I throw on the TV. So I use all the tools that I could possibly use. I have a radio in there, uh, just to keep myself entertained. I used to run outside, but then my doctor said that it wasn't good for me. So, and then the pandemic hit in 2020, right? And they closed down the gyms. So that's when I kind of dedicated. I already had the treadmill, so I kind of dedicated, and I started buying little sets and things and different things that would enable me, to uh, to work out at home, and I just stuck. Now I'm okay. I still keep a membership at Crunch, but I always have it in sleep mode. I do turn it on for a couple months, but I'm assuming that pretty soon I'm just gonna do away with it. But it's one of those memberships where you pay 24.99 plus the tax, and comes out to 25 something, 26 something. And you could always bring a guest. That membership, they have I don't know if they still have the $10 one where it's just you, but you can't bring a guest, and your guest would have to pay $5, which is still a pretty good deal. And but with the $25 one, you could go to any Crunch and bring a guest. So it worked out for us because sometimes the one that's close to me, that somebody wouldn't get there on time. New kid that just started working, forgot to get there at 7 o'clock on Saturday. So we would run over to the other one and get our workout in. So we always had an alternative. But just some tools for you guys to think about as build if you're gonna build a little program at home. If you're gonna build, you don't need exotic. Everybody's always gets kind of conditioned into having the best equipment and stuff like that. If you could do it, more power to you. But if you're trying to get started, a treadmill's good, a bike is good, something to get you started. Even if you're starting slow, a treadmill's good. They have those little manual treadmills out there. If you're just trying to get started just to test it, that's a good one to get started with. That's kind of how I felt with this one. My neighbor gave me that one that I showed you guys. This one here, my neighbor sold it to me for $35. And he just didn't want it because it was taking up space in his garage. And I just kind of took it because, we always wanted a treadmill, but we never used it. Like I said, the first 6, 7 years, it was probably a clothes rack, a rug rack, a towel rack, you know, never used it. But anyway, just want to make sure you guys continue. If you guys decide to get something, you get something real manual. You don't have to spend a lot. I would look in a yard sale, long as the thing works. And actually, all the parts, if you have one and something's broken, you could buy the parts on Amazon or something like that. They sell everything now. You don't have to go around looking for anything. You could just do it, with your phone. You could just get on your phone and buy something. But anyway, just trying to keep you guys inspired. If you guys are looking, trying to make it easy. If you want to start just by walking around the blocks, within your neighborhood, that works out just great. If you have a park nearby, go in the park. Just start walking. It doesn't have to be running. It doesn't have to be jogging. It doesn't have to be anything. Start walking. That helps out. That's how I started. Right after I got sick and I showed you the 15 minutes, that's how I started. I started with 5, 10 minutes on a treadmill, and gradually I advanced to 15 and 20. And then finally, when I got up to, like, I think a half hour or maybe even more, then I started going out on the street. And I wasn't going very far. I think I would go across the street, down the street, I go up the street, and then there's a little elementary, and I would try to run that whole distance of the elementary. And I think it was a little over 120, 130 yards. That was it. That was all I was able to muster up at the time. And I just kept at it and kept at it. Next thing you know, I was going around the whole block, which is a big block. It's about 5 blocks. I call it big block because it's two main streets that I went around. And it just you just build it up. There's no hurry. I was in no hurry, and I knew that it was gonna be a long term commitment. So just try to stick with it. And now it gets to the point where you feel like you got to do it. You need to do it. You have to do it. If you miss it, if you miss a day because of commitments or whatever, all the things that go on in life, then you just get it the next day. And don't try to make up that day on that, on the next day. Don't try to make up that last day. Just for you missed it, that's it. Try not to miss it again. All right. So keep at it. We're going to get better, and start thinking about, visiting the doctor or working on some lab work, just so you can see what's going on. All right. That's what I want to emphasize. I want to, emphasize on that. All right. Take care. This is David.